back with some more Stanley Parable. Let's get into it. Please just slide until the dog and cat are friends. Oh, that's so cute. Who's just slide until number 5 comes to number 9. Oh, come on, I wanted to do that one. I wonder what happens if I do this. Which of the two made up words is most plain to Scrumtish or Occuboinkle? Occuboinkle. Please don't adjust the slider. You know what? I will adjust the slider. Yes. I don't know what time. What is time? Why are we here? Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes. Help. No. Will you come back to visit me? Yes. So, I actually discovered some things. I was just doing some research on some endings. The Stanley Parable 2. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the loading. Is loading never the end? So actually, when I'm in here...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where's the broom closet? Wait, did I miss the broom closet? Yeah, so there's the bucket. I swear there was a broom closet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Where is there a broom closet? Missing status. So there's a large room, lots of boxes. Somewhere both red and blue. Oh, that's the other way. Oh, here it is. So actually,
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
So actually,
he turned around
here.
and got back on track.
What if I don't turn around? I want to stay in the room, narrator. So yeah.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out.
Oh, I find out anyways.
It didn't occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Okay, cool.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I should have stayed in here after.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Well,
He
you're
probably
super
only
fat,
got
so
the
I'm
job
really,
because of a
really,
family
really stupid.
connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yeah. Drugs, hookers, I do everything, you know. We already got
Well, I've
cocaine,
come to a
just...
very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be
actually
nearby?
died during this
the person
part.
at this computer is dead.
Like,
They have
imagine they
fallen
actually
prey
died.
to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player, it's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you.
Well, I'm gonna do worse anyways.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
I wonder... I'm waiting a bit to see if he says anything, because... I wish I had my phone on me, because I don't know what to do after this part. Because there's a certain ending for this, but I don't know what to do. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna be right back. I'll just stay in here and just give me a sec, because I want to figure this out. Let's see here. Oh, okay, so I know what to do now. I know what to do. So instead of waiting, we just go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, that was the infinite room. That was the infinite room. I don't need to go in there again. That was dumb. Then again, the infinite room would get me to do what I want to do here. I don't know why I keep looking in here. Keep thinking in there. There's gonna be a thing in there, but that's whatever.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay, cool.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I want to just go up and down again, just because that's more fun than repeating the same ending over and over again.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator.
Yeah, and I like
and
this
went
ending.
back up. Silly
It's funny.
me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Or would it be quicker to go back down again and do the whole thing? This ending is more fun.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow.
Okay,
I'm
come on.
bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Well, if you had to ask me, I'm just a dumb dude that likes to do dumb things that are actually smart things.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No.
Nope. No, we're not.
It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me. Oh my god.
Haha, it's the boss's office. Let's go.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Please hold.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process. All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
1 second, I'm gonna try something. Thinking maybe some devil type. I'm thinking like maybe there's a secret code. I wonder if there is a secret code.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Yep. So that's the light that goes now. Cool.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill.
Bruh.
I simply don't want to let that feeling go.
Narrator,
It's
I
so
know you're the
precious,
light.
so
Let me
fleeting.
down.
Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Yes, slow is what
There
we
we
want.
go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal?
Yep.
This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and
what's
alive.
that down there?
That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Live on stage, Stanley.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
Are you?
Okay,
Are you though?
it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
Yo, hello everybody. I know you love me. Sorry, no pictures, no comments. It's just... Yep, yes. Now it's gonna be quiet. Yes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Definitely.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Should be...
Oh no, not again. I won't be
yes.
part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay, so do I just sit here now? So it's just I was looking at different ideas because I know I'm not gonna find every single one. Not the... Okay, so...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay, loading screen.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Okay, now I think I have the broom closet done.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
But we're in a bunch of boxes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bucket also. The bucket also changes endings, so. So he boarded up the broom closet. Okay, cool. That's the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
I wonder if me going up and down again will do anything.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up.
I wonder if it changes anything.
Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I don't think it's going to change anything, but you never know. If it doesn't change anything, then I will wait.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible.
Nice.
Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay, so that doesn't do anything extra.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I wonder why that one's broken.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terror. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes, I'd love
Stanley,
control.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then?
2 minutes.
Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
No.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's
Nope,
your
I'm
story
fine.
now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not?
You
These are
can,
precious additional seconds.
but I'll just sit
doesn't
here.
grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley?
I'm just gonna
Is it
sit
that you
here.
have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right
No,
now?
I'm just gonna sit here
Or
and
did you
wait.
just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen,
it doesn't
clicking on
even-
every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley,
I'll just wait.
you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a
Okay.
part of the joke.
Yes,
And believe
yes,
me,
yes.
I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
It already ended. Also, there's 2 things I gotta do. I need to go back, but before entering, I need to back right out. But I'll do that after, because I got another idea.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Wait,
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yes.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red...
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines.
Bruh.
None of us can.
Cool. Wait, which door? He asked you to go through the blue door, right?
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Oh, wait, no.
You see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I
Do the wrong
wanted
door,
to stop.
bruh.
We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
What if I just continue going in circles? I will avoid your door. And I just keep going in circles. Okay.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this... No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
This is what I get. This is what I'm gonna do.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what... No! Oh, no. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Does he say anything else? Cool.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
No, I don't
That you'll
dislike
throw
the game.
yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Yes.
Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
I feel
I just
bad,
wanted
but
us
at the
to
same
get
time I don't.
along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Game will reset.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Yep. Okay, so I gotta go get to the box. Before I do finish the collectibles, or I figure out however to do that collectible stuff, because that one I don't know how I'm supposed to get to the room full of boxes. There is something I do need to get to though. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Wait, I no clipped. Is that supposed to happen? Oh god, no, please tell me that didn't just reset that.
He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
No, I just messed that up, bruh. That's whatever, it's whatever, it's whatever. I'll do it again.
When Stanley came to
I'll
a
make sure
set
to do
of
it
two
again.
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, it was all planned out here. I didn't even notice.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door.
Nope, going in reverse. I actually had to look this one up because I didn't think I'd be able to do this one. But yeah. Because if you see, I was just looking at different endings to see what I can do because I know there's a lot of stuff I won't be able to figure out, but I have been figuring out a lot on my own. Like the up and down one, I just dumb not knowing that one when I first did that one. Just because I like messing with people. It's fun. It's funny. Three-door. You are now leaving. Nice. Cool. So this is the escape pod. Wait. 760? That means it's climb 6 flights of stairs. 755. $756. Oh great, I'd go up 6 levels. 57. 58. 59. And 60. Escape pod launch bay. One sec, 'cause I can't see through this corridor. I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this right. Guess I just go this way and just keep walking forward, because I can't really tell what I can and can't see. So I'll just keep walking forward. Oh, a little light at the end of the tunnel. Cool. did it? Thought it'd be a little more climactic, but that was a little more low key. I don't know. That felt bogus. Cool.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Well, wait. Yeah, it is. Wait. He said, is this Stanley's office? Wait, I don't like that. I don't like they said that. There's something in here. One sec. So after the escape pod. Oh, the balloon blocking me, bruh. Come on. Okay, I don't like that he said that, so he's like, oh, this is Stanley's office, isn't it? And I'm like, bruh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay. Cool. Whoa.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that
Ain't
it
no
seemed
way
the office had begun.
tapes.
So far off the beaten. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a
Yes.
silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause
What?
on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
No.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
It's like, if I wait, will he say something, but at the same time.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Oh, I guess I was supposed to collect it. I don't know.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the boss's bathroom. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Oh God. I don't remember. I want to say under the stairs. I want to say that's the accurate one.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened. This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh God, it's one of those really old documents on something. Cool, so now what? Best voice of narrator, see narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse.
Oh, it won't let me
This
jump
memory
up.
is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other, except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like. And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Okay.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels. Okay, yes, this spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more.
Okay, cool.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Bruh, no, ain't no way he's just gonna speed through this.
Yes, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Yeah, but it was in the past. We'll never move on.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Okay, Dad.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Yes, and then we finally get to this part here.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Nope. That's it.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back
Oh,
to how it used to
just give me
be.
a sec.
Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it.
Come on.
I'll be stronger this time.
I
I'll
know.
take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore.
Okay.
But he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
What?
I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Come on, come on, come on, load.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Wonder will any of this kill me if I fall down? What if I try making it to those boxes?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
So there's no way to survive going to the bottom there, because there's that open garage door. I'll have to figure out another day. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Let's see what they're gonna do. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day and goodbye.